Hi and welcome to PCMNorway Productions coverage of the La Vuelta a España. Today it's the 6th stage and it goes from Ubeda to Cordoba. It's 193 kilometers long and it's a tough finish where we most likely will not see any sprinters in the final. My name is Dick Anderson and I will guide you through this stage from Ubeda to Cordoba. So here we got some pictures from earlier today right now, and the peloton led by Yuskatal now, while Igor Anton is in the leader's jersey, drove the city out of Ubeda, and in today's breakaway it's Lichtart from Vacansoleil, Matthew Goss from HGC, Bonnefour from Ajou de Sur and Paul Martens from Rabobank. And in the first intermediate sprint it was Lichtart in front of Matthew Goss and the Martens, who captured 4, 2 and 1 point. And on the second intermediate sprint it was Paul Lichtart again from Vacansoleil, who captured 4 points in front of Matthew Goss, who captured 2, and Bonnefour, who captured 1. And right when the peloton hit the line of the intermediate sprint, Greg van Avermaet and Fabian Cancellara went on the attack from the peloton, so they are now the second group chasing the first breakaway group. Now it's time to end our recap footage and tune in live on today's stage of the Vuelta a España. Hi and welcome back. We are now live and the first group, led by Matthew Goss, is 30 kilometers away from Cordoba. The Cancellara group is 2 minutes and 42 seconds behind, and the peloton is 3 minutes and 39 seconds behind. So the interesting thing about today's stage is the hard finish, and we do know that Matthew Goss can master the hills in a fairly good way for being a sprinter. He won the Milan-San Remo, he has won that race before, so we do know that he got finishing abilities. And Paul Martens, an interesting German rider from Rabobank, he's fairly good in the hills. I do expect him to do something when we hit the final hill and go on our way to down to Cordoba. So he is now leading the first group when it's 20 kilometers away. We can see that Cancellara and Van Avermaet has shrinking the gap up to them, 1 minute 59 seconds, and the peloton is 1 minute behind them. And here we got Van Avermaet and Cancellara not far behind, but here we can see that Igor Anton, the race leader, has attacked from the peloton with Scarponi on their wheel. And I also think that it's Joaquin Rodriguez from Katusha closing the gap, and he's going straight on the counter-attack with De Volder and Wiggins behind him. He is not merciful, he's just going straight on the counter, and Igor Anton is starting to chase him. Scarponi not able to follow those two, and Rodriguez is just blowing past Cancellara and Van Avermaet, and so does Anton. So the favorites has already shown their cards. We are on the first part of the climb and they just went straight on the attack. And also to think that it's Paul Martens from Rabobank attacking from the first group, so we do got some action here already. And yes, it was Paul Martens. He is now the man out in front. Nobody else in the first group was able to follow. Maybe Matthew Goss is saving his energy to later on the climb, so maybe he can sit with the favorites and if it gathers, take the sprint. And Heinrich Hausler, I got reports that he's still with the peloton, so if he can fight himself over the top and be with the peloton when we hit Cordoba, he can be a huge favorite to win the stage with Matthew Goss, because there isn't many other sprinters there. Cancellara is there now, but he's not you know, the typical sprinter. He's more a big time trial rider. So here goes Scarponi, and the rider I just mentioned, Fabian Cancellara, is on his wheel. So we do have a lot of attacks now. Scarponi are attacking the leader jersey of Igor Anton, and Fabian Cancellara is just going straight on the counter and leaving Scarponi behind. So he's up with Paul Martens now, and Paul Martens has been in the break the entire day, so I don't expect him to do much, and he's just sitting right down. And I do think it's Rodriguez now on the attack. Nobody is settling down. Rodriguez is the first man over the last climb of the day, the last King of the Mountain sprint of the day, and he's now out in front. That means that he gets 10 points in front of Luis Leon Sanchez, who gets 7, Anton gets 5, Van Avermaet gets 3, Scarponi 2, and Cancellara 1. So nothing is going to change in that classification. Cadalto from Quickstep still got that. We can see that the groups are forming now with Rodriguez at the front. He is leading the race, and Scarponi is trying to close that gap. He's not that far they are not that far behind Rodriguez. That's his 5 kilometers to go now, 11 seconds. That's not much at all. We can see that Heinrich Hausler and Matthew Goss are in this group. They must be huge favorites, but here we go. The sprint is on, and it's Carlos Sastre from Geox leading the peloton. That's a huge surprise, but there comes Rodriguez with Igor Anton on his wheel, and Igor Anton is making his move. Can Cancellara take him? No, it's Igor Anton, the race leader of this year's Vuelta so far, that takes the 6th stage from Ubeda to Cordoba, 193 kilometers, and Igor Anton was the strongest. And you must wonder what Heinrich Hausler is thinking now. You are on paper the best bunch sprinter in selected groups, and you are now in the group, and you only get the 3rd spot. That must be disappointing for him and Matthew Goss, even though he has been in the break the entire day. So Igor Anton takes this one in front of Cancellara and Heinrich Hausler. He is still in the leader's jersey, and Nibali is right behind him with Mencho in the 3rd spot. Scarponi 4th and Wiggins 5th. That must be pleasing for the Brit Bradley Wiggins. And Enrique Gasparato, who won yesterday's stage, is still in the points jersey, and Cadalto from Quickstep is still in the King of the Mountain jersey. And Kieślowski from Astana is still in the youth classification jersey, and Rabobank is still the best team so far. So that means that the 6th stage to Cordoba is over and finished. So we hope that you tune back in tomorrow. My name was Dick Henderson, and on behalf of PCMNorway Productions, arrivederci!
Venga, va, una vueltecita más y ya.